Okay, today we are going to be talking about patterns. So, we've been investigating what we can observe in the sky during the daytime and during the nighttime. So, we can see the sun in the sky only during the daytime. Remember, we did that sorting activity. Hopefully, you did that already. And the sun, of course, we only see it during the daytime, right? And we only see the stars in the sky at night, in the nighttime. Can't see them during the day for some reason. Okay, we're going to read a book that talks a little bit more about patterns, and it's called Patterns of Earth and Space. And this book is a reference book. And instead of reading the book from beginning to end, you usually just read the parts that you need to find out about something you want to learn. You don't usually read, say, a dictionary or an encyclopedia from cover to cover. You find exactly what you need and move on. So, a pattern is something we observe to be similar over and over again. Patterns can help us understand what we see in the sky during daytime and nighttime. So, here's the table of contents, also called the contents. That helps you find what you need. So, it says that we can read about observing patterns on page 4. So, I'm going to read. The beads on this bracelet make a pattern. The colors are in the same order over and over again. To see the pattern, you can't just look at one bead, you have to observe many beads. Here is another pattern. If the traffic light is red, the cars are stopped. If the traffic light is green, the cars are moving. It happens the same way over and over again. Anytime the light is red, the cars are stopped. Anytime the light is green, the cars are moving. That is a pattern. Okay, so that I've been using that word, which hopefully you guys have heard before. But let's talk about what a pattern is. A pattern is something we observe to be similar over and over again. There are lots of patterns that we can observe in the world around us. So after I read this question, take a moment to pause and discuss with somebody you're watching the video with, or if you're watching it on your own, just think about how you would answer this question. So we observe daytime and nighttime sky patterns. What are some other events in nature that happen over and over again in the same way? All right. Unfortunately, I can't listen to your responses, but maybe some people mentioned the pattern of the seasons and the leaves on a tree. Leaves grow in the spring, they turn colors in the fall and start to come off the tree. Uh, by winter, well, they're nice and, of course, I skipped summer, right? They're nice and green in the summer. They turn colors, fall off the tree in the fall. They stay off the tree in winter, and then they grow back in spring. There's a pattern, and maybe you thought of some other interesting patterns. So let's look again at the table of contents. And I want to find out about patterns of daytime and nighttime. So if I look at the table of contents, it tells me to go to page 10. So that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to read again. Patterns of daytime and nighttime. There are patterns to when we see things in the sky. In the daytime, we see the sun. In the nighttime, we see the stars. In the daytime, the sky is bright. It is bright in the daytime because of light from the sun. In the nighttime, when there is no light from the sun, the sky is dark and we can't see the stars. All right, so let's look again to show what we can observe in the sky only during the daytime and only during the nighttime. Let's think of the pattern we're showing. Okay, so let's look at these pictures again and observe the pattern. All right, so obviously we have daytime, nighttime, and so on. So what can we see at different in the sky at different times, which is our investigation question? Well, we did a sorting activity and we saw things that we only saw in the daytime. Think about that. You could pause to think about what we've learned is always in the sky during the daytime and whether we could see it or not. Think about what we have learned are always in the sky during the nighttime, whether you can see them or not. So that means, for example, well, think about it yourself. Maybe you thought of the moon, and you can't always see the moon. Maybe it's not a full moon. Maybe it's a cloudy night, but we still know it's there, right? Scientists often draw or write to record new ideas that they learn. We can use this chart to record the new ideas we learn about daytime and nighttime. So we can add the sun to our chart to show what we know about daytime. And to show what we know about nighttime, we could add the stars to our chart. So the concept that we should be mindful of, that it's an important concept, we could see the sun in the sky during the daytime and the stars in the sky during the nighttime. And if we think about that, of course, that's very obvious, right?